Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Happiness Journey with Dr. Dan podcast, where every journey is worth living. My name is Dr. Dan, and I'm your host for today's episode. I'm a bilingual cognitive behavior psychotherapist specializing in anger management issues, both court-appointed and private, marriage counseling using the EFT method, dissociative disorders, narcissistic personality disorders, depression, anxiety, dream analysis, and also provide life, business, and retirement coaching support. I provide individual one-on-one session in both French or English, and also do group settings. If you need any assistance, reach out to DMV Therapy and Coaching Services at 301-325-1550, and our website can be found at lifecoachdanamzalike.com. Today, I'm very excited to have for our third episode of Season 12, a special guest and certified happiness trainer, Judith Costa. And just like every of my past episodes, I will leave it up to the guests to properly introduce themselves, as no one can do a better job. Judith, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you, Dan. I'm so happy to be here with you today and to talk about happiness.
Yes, definitely. So we're very happy for you to be here as well, Judith, and I'm sure that our listeners are anxiously awaiting to hear about your wisdom. So when you say that you are a certified happiness trainer, so how do you train people to be happy? Because this is like a science that no one has really acquired or really understood the essence of your professionalism. So go ahead.
Yeah, I remember when I was around 18, I was not happy, and I bought my first book on happiness. Mm-hmm. And as you said, I mean, it's this topic that everybody talks about it, but nobody knows what is happiness really and how to arrive there. Then I found my own method. But answering your question about the certification, there's a school for happiness. It's called Happiness Study Academy. Now they have a master. Okay. And they train people. They have their own method, and they have an idea that happiness is also not the destination, is more in the journey. Yes. And you have to become happy looking at every area of your life. But my understanding of happiness comes from a different path. My official title is Unconditional Love Coach, because I help people to fall in love with themselves, to become their best friends, to know how to connect with who they are, because this leads to happiness. Happiness and self-love are intimately connected. Both are decisions that you have to make when you get up in the morning, mm-hmm. and not things that just happen to you. Loving is a choice, okay. And it's a verb. And happiness is something that when it happens, really, it's more a joy, that inner joy that goes with you wherever you go, because you create it. It doesn't depend on external circumstances, on everything working out, and we tend, to procrastinate for happiness. Mm-hmm. I will be happy when. Yes. That's not the happiness that common. I train people on.
But do you feel that, Judith, that the happiness, it's called positive psychology, okay? This is the science of happiness. Now, do you feel that a lot of people always want to be able to, and you said it very well about I'll be happy when, or I'll be happy if, or there's always the if and when part of the equation. So how can someone be happy if they have so little, or if they have nothing really to be able to be happy about, but they're happy from within, and they don't need to have the money. They don't need to have the partner. They don't need to have the mansion by the sea. They don't need to have the exotic cars in the garage. So what distinguishes between someone who's happy from within and someone who's happy only based on exterior circumstances?
I'm going to answer your question with my story, if you allow me, because maybe it's more practical and not just give. I don't think there is nothing wrong with the desire. I mean, you don't have the mansion, but you may want a beautiful house, and you may want a lot of things that are not in your life. But when I was young, I had a life where from outside it looked perfect. I had this house, I had the husband, I had a good job, the money, and I was feeling miserable. Then people told me, like, why you complain? You have everything. Mm-hmm. But it seems that there is a part of you, I'm going to call it soul, but you call it whatever. But there was an inner voice saying like, this is not the way things should be in your life. And I couldn't stop this sadness from coming out.
Okay.
You can call it depression, but it was like a sensation of my life is not working. And it started not working at every level. I started having issues with my health. My relationship with my husband was not working. I didn't like my job. And I needed a change, and I didn't know how to become happy.
Okay.
And again, I love to read books, and I found many answers in my life in books. And I started looking for this idea. No, in Spain, where I'm from, there was no positive psychology at that moment. Then I struggled, and there was a moment where I understood this concept of self-love. It was many years after I did this journey that we are talking about, and I started studying. And I put tools together that allow to know myself better. I studied astrology and a master in the teachings of Carl Gustav Jung in psychotherapy. And I start looking into my relationships and my idea about love and happiness. And all of this, after some time, give me the idea to not have this as a hobby, to become a certified life coach and move to the US. But life have some surprises in store for you. Then you think intellectually, I got it. Like I know now what it means to love yourself. And I know how to go with these challenges. And now that I have understood, I can be happy. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens when you got divorced. You lose it because your life is not the way it should be. And what happens when then I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer? Then I cannot be happy because I don't have health. Okay. And then I had to invest all my money in taking care of myself. Then I cannot be happy because I don't have money anymore. Then if happiness is a concept that depends only on external circumstances, life for sure is going to put you in the spot where things are not going to go the way you want, because that's life. Mm-hmm. Life changes, life presents challenges, and lots of good surprises and gifts as well. But when you go through all these things, and everybody has a different story, this is just a little part of mine, you have to understand that what supports you is yourself. It's this love for yourself that should be unconditional. This acceptance of who you are, flaws included, that gives you the happiness. And then you'll say, I'm not gonna stop loving myself because I don't have the health. I'm gonna fall in love with my body as well and understand what is happening inside of me that is creating this imbalance, this illness. And if the relationship is not working, then let me see what I can do, what I can bring to the table differently, that I can heal my relationships. And when you love yourself no matter what, that means no conditions. There is always room for improvement, but there is an idea that we are perfect as we are. We don't need to be fixed. Mm-hmm. And the more you accept yourself, the more you love yourself, the happier you become.
But then where does it come where we all have some place in our life to improve, to become a better version of who we are? Because obviously, if we experience certain things in our lives that brought us into a certain condition where we feel we're not as good as we want to be, we're not, we have an anger problem, we're not making enough money, we're not making this, and we know that there's always room for improvement in that scenario. So do you feel that if we're not happy enough for ourselves, that doesn't mean, I mean, what does it mean based on your own personal experience? There's always room for improvement in every human who lives on this planet. So if there's room for improvement, then the older version of ourselves is not good enough.
Oh, no, for sure, no. Okay. You're perfect since the moment you were born, and you will be until the moment you die. I am very analytical, and I was very perfectionist and self-pressure. I had a master. I knew how to do it perfectly.
Okay.
What happens is that you become your best enemy instead of your best friend. And we use all we have to criticize ourselves instead of appreciating what we have and creating more of that. Then when you go against yourself, it has consequences always. You create a stress creates balance, disease, that disconnection from yourself doesn't allow you to create the life you want. You cannot manifest because the energy that you need to manifest things in your life is not work harder, is this highest vibration that is called love. Then when I work with people, I help them understand, I show how it's possible that loving yourself is the solution to any problem you may have. And I have a lecture where I challenge people in the audience to tell me anything, a financial problem, a health problem, anything that is happening in your life, and I can solve it in terms of self-love. Because when you become really your best friend, you understand that, of course, there is room for improvement. But don't you think that through a divorce, cancer experience, healing relationships, I haven't become a best person than I was? I think I did.
Okay.
Then it's how you can love yourself through the situations to express this best version of yourself, but without putting yourself down.
So the process that you are teaching others, now this is, again, your own personal experience that you've dealt with thyroid cancer and so on and so forth, but other people who are going through something similar or something even different about not understanding what self-love is all about. How do you train them to self-love themselves?
Self-love is a big concept. Then if we have to summarize, I say sometimes in the conversation, is to become your best friend, just to treat you the way you treat those people you love. If you treat others the way you treat yourself, they're going to run away. Usually we are very critical with ourselves, but let's suppose that I had a bad interview and then I say, oh, Judith, you should prepare better. How is it possible that you still make these mistakes? And I start telling all these mean things to myself for the rest of the evening, maybe even tomorrow, thinking that I am bad. And if I tell you this, then you will say, Judith, don't worry, you're my friend. Then I'm sure you did better than you imagine. And it's not a big deal. Don't be upset with yourself. Then you are going to treat me with all the care, kindness, compassion that you are capable of. But when we talk with ourselves, we are like unkind, not compassionate, and very, very mean.
Mm-hmm. But so if someone is so used to doing that, is there like a specific method that you use?
Yeah, take your brain to the gym. You take your body to the gym, no? To be trained.
Yes.
Then nowadays we know perfectly because of neuroscience that the brain has plasticity, yes, and it can learn. What we are talking about are patterns of thought and behavior that have been installed there for a long time. But a belief system can be changed. Your thoughts are just opinions. You don't have to believe everything you think because it might not be true. Mm-hmm. You may say, you may say to yourself, like, I'm stupid. And in the eyes of someone else, you are so wise. Yes. Or I'm ugly. And someone goes and falls in love with you the way you are because you are astonishing and unique and amazing. Mm-hmm. Then it's this inner critic that spoils the whole party here.
Yes, yes. Self-critic is one of our worst enemy. But now when we see that people are born with so much negativity in their mind and everything, mm-hmm, in their life because of their childhood trauma or issues, they continue not having enough self-worth to be able to go on into their lives and so on and so forth. And they always, as you said, criticize themselves for everything they do. And they never really accept any positive remarks about them or any praises or anything of that sort. So is there something that you learned in the school or the Happiness Academy where you can completely change their mindset, completely change their perception about themselves so they could start looking into themselves and say, you know what, I'm smart, I'm pretty, or I'm handsome, I am this or I am that, instead of thinking that I am not of that or I am not.
Yeah, let me give people practical things to do.
That would be great.
And I admire Carl Gustav Jung, and one of the wise things that he was insisting in is that you cannot heal what you don't know. And the first thing that we have to do is to make conscious those things that we are doing that go against ourselves. Then I invite my clients for a week to write in a notebook or in their phone everything they say about themselves. Because I have experience with clients that I'm coaching that they say, I have a very good relationship with myself. I love myself. I say, okay, let's do that. If you don't mind, let's try. And then they come after a week for the next session with a list of these inner critic ideas about everything that is not working in their lives and how negative is the vision that they have about themselves and their lives. And when you have this information, you have a gift. Because in the moment you catch yourself, you become aware of how are you treating yourself. You can say, no, Judith, no, I'm not going to say this to you, like to me, again. And you can really start treating yourself differently. It's a problem of awareness. We do things because we go on autopilot, but when you become aware, when you are mindful of how are you approaching your life and yourself, and how is this relationship, you are able to change it. Then being able to change it is like in the radio. If I have a radio station in my car and they're playing rock, and I hate rock, it's too loud, or heavy metal, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna change the radio station, no?
Right.
Then change the radio station of your mind and go to a station where they play more love songs, more happy songs, more uplifting songs. And you will see a big change just by doing that. There are many other tools like journaling, affirmations, mirror work. And when I teach people, I'm very flexible, I'm very practical in my approach. And I tell clients, here you have a pool of different tools. You choose when you can work with me one-on-one in 1 hour session, in 1 day workshop on happiness, in 1 week retreat, in a weekend experience. Then it all depends how fast you want to do this and how invested you are, because some people, they do like this 1 day workshop on fall in love with yourself or happiness and fall in love with the body. They get it and they transform their lives just in 1 day. Because they have all the tools. It's about you putting it into practice. And some people need some help. Then they want to be coached. And some people prefer like an immersive experience where you go out of your busy life and you start practicing these things, and you do it in a group setting where you can learn from others, and not only from the teacher here or the trainer that is me. Then I think that it all depends on what you want to do, but the mindset is, for me, the key to the change into the behavior. It's like updating your computer. You have the same program all the time, but there is an update, and
Yes.
if you install the update, then the computer starts working better. Then that's what happens with happiness. Whatever area of your life you touch, spiritually, in terms of organization in your life, in terms of health, relationships, financial, mental, it reverts in the rest of the areas of your life as well.
So basically changing the frequency of everything that you are experiencing at this moment. Then, but do you think, like, so obviously you understand and you practice the laws of attraction, where all the thought that you have will manifest into a reality that you perceive it to be? Because obviously, if you look at the sky, for example, Judith, and you tell me, no, the sky is orange, I tell you, no, the sky is blue. But then at a certain time of the day, when the sun starts setting, the sky may become orange.
Yeah.
So you do have your perception that is real to you. It may not be real to me. I may say, no, I still see it blue. It doesn't matter which way you look at it. But then again, everyone has their own definition to what happiness means to them particularly. So for you, you may say that I don't give a damn about money. I don't give a damn about the mansion by the ocean or the exotic cars, but that's you. So happiness is customizable among everyone that comes and are seeking that level of happiness. So it has to be kind of based on what do you see, what do you want in your life to be happy. So there's certain section in their life or certain category of their life, like relationship, they want to have a better marriage. They want to have a better, not better family, but their kids are not listening. So if their kids are starting to be able to change around their desire to be happy, then he may find, or he or she may find happiness.
Yeah.
So it will vary on many different, like financial, spiritually, physical.
I agree with you, and it's totally true. I was thinking when you were speaking about the definition of success, it's the same, no? Not success doesn't have the same meaning for everyone. But the good thing about happiness is that it's a state of being.
Yes.
Then if we are all energy, energy is contagious as well. The happier you are, the happier everybody around you can be.
Mm-hmm.
And you can transform the world this way. And no matter what your definition of happiness is, and I have another workshop called How to Manifest Your Desires, where we talk about this. The happier you are, the more access you have to everything you want. Because the universe is not going to tell you, like, oh, here it is what you say you want. It's going to give you what you are.
Correct.
What you deserve, what you think you can have. Mm-hmm. Then there is a misunderstanding about the law of attraction and how it works, because people think if I say it many times and I just focus mentally there, but you have to feel it. If you don't feel it, if you don't have this state of being, nothing moves. The universe say, okay, send me the order whenever you're ready. Yeah. I'll be here to fulfill it.
Mm-hmm. But again, it's also about action and belief, because you could sit on your butt watching Netflix and then you say, I want a Lamborghini in my garage. I want to, and repeat it 1,000 times. If you don't take action to make it happen, the universe is not going to meet you all the way to your thoughts. It's going to say, you know what? Meet me halfway, kind of thing.
Action, but the right action. Okay. Because we tend to go after what we want, and the universe delivers. You don't have to really do much. And let me tell you a silly story to illustrate this. When I got married, we redecorated the whole house. Of course, we spent the money that we had, and I wanted the TV not only in the living room, I wanted the TV in my room. Okay. And I say, okay, I will have to save money, and maybe next month I'll have it. But I went to the shop and I look at the TV I wanted. That was long time ago. There was like this combo that you can put the video inside, you know, these big TVs and all of this. Yes. It was silver. It was so nice. And even it was before the euro, because it was in pesetas, the price. Okay. It was 59 something, almost 60,000. And then I was in a Sunday in summer, and we have a boat, and I had to go to find the mechanic because it was not starting. And then I start like walking in the harbor, and I saw a bill of 10,000. Say, wow, it was more or less like $60, $70 for people to understand. And then I keep walking, and I found two more than 30,000. Wow. Then I was start looking like there's a camera here, like someone is looking like it should be fake. It's not possible. No. I continue walking, three more, 60,000. Then that was a Sunday. Do you know what I did on Monday?
You got the technician.
I went and get the TV.
Okay.
Then I just did the right action. I just went and tell the universe exactly what I needed. And I thought I have to save. Then it all depends on the salary that I have in my job. And the universe, so intense was my desire, and I was not in the way, but the universe delivered money there was no wallet, there was nobody in the street. It was impossible to give it back to anyone and the money was there in front of me, exact amount of money I needed.
Wow. So, but you never visualized that. So you have to.
Yeah. I wanted the TV. I knew how I'm going to hang it. I was looking at it. I went to the shop. Even I went to the shop knowing that I don't have the money, but I want to know how much it's going to cost. Okay. Then I was visualizing about it. I take the right action that was like, okay, let me clarify the what. You have to know what you want. You have to tell the universe, this is my order. And I place my order in the moment I went to the shop and I say, this is the one I'm gonna get. It's silver, it costs almost 60,000, it has a video, I have everything I want. And I let it go. I let it go. I say, okay, when I have the money, I'll come and get it.
But so what happened in between, Judith? I mean, from the time that
you relax.
You what?
You relax and you say, and you savor the waiting. You really savor the waiting, because if your order is on its way, let's suppose that you order a pizza, okay? You know it's gonna be delivered in 30 minutes, but you trust that this is what is gonna happen. Yes. You're not calling every 5 minutes like, are you putting my pizza in the oven? Are you sure you have the right address?
Yes.
Are you sure it's gonna come okay? Are you sure I'm gonna have dinner? Yes. No, you trust that for this half an hour that your pizza is gonna be delicious and delivered into your home.
Okay, so if there's so much so-called abundance out there, Judith, enough for everyone or every human in this planet to be able to live happy and comfortably, why is it so hard for people to wrap their mind around the laws of attraction, understanding what or how they can make an order to the universe about what they want, to be clear about their order, and then to just wait for it to happen? But the waiting part is what a lot of people feel that these laws are just BS. Because, well, I made sure that I wanted this, nothing came along, so what went wrong? What did I not do right that these things that I so wanted desperately didn't come to fruition?
Okay, another story. I started my career helping people to find their soulmate.
Okay.
And after many workshops, I realized that the most important reason, among others, but the number one, was that people didn't love themselves. And I was teaching how to manifest your soulmate. Then I took the law of attraction applied to relationships. But it's a very, very difficult topic for a lot of people, because they have difficulties in relationships, they have been hurt, they have been abandoned, and there is a lot of drama in our ideas about love. And when you learn how to love yourself, that was my second workshop, then you understand how you can manifest love and everything in your life. Because love, again, is the highest vibration that exists in the universe. It's your power number one, but it's not the love romantic that we know. It's a vibration, means that it's the energy that opens the doors.
That is so true.
Then that's the reason why I teach self-love, connected with happiness, connected with abundance, because it's the way.
Yes, definitely. So for our listeners, Judith, how can they find you?
The easy way will be to go to my website, judithmcosta.com. There is a contact form there with my email and my phone number. They can subscribe to the list, because I like to send you like free stuff and my blog and all of these things. And there are links to all the social media. I'm everywhere. You can see videos in YouTube, or I share quotes and very interesting and uplifting material.
Beautiful.
Then let's be in touch.
Yes, absolutely. Well, listeners, you heard about where to find her, but also her information will be added into the description of this podcast. But on that note, that is all the time that we have for today's episode. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your very busy schedule to join us. And thank you again for participating and inspiring our many listeners with your incredible story. Now, we hope that you've all enjoyed today's episode. And I'm also very excited about the many upcoming guests that we have scheduled for season 12 of the Happiness Journey podcast, filled with inspirational stories, just like the one that you listened to today.
Thank you.
Yes.
And lots of love to everyone. Thank you, Dan.
Wisdom. Now, the real difficulty in self-love is combating the inner critic who goes against our own wishes by challenging our own beliefs. You know you're worthy of love, but the critic keeps reminding of the past pain that you can't let go of. Love yourself enough to set boundaries. Your time and energy are precious. You get to choose how you use it. You teach people how to treat you by deciding what you will and won't accept. We have the need to be accepted and to be loved by others, but we cannot accept and love ourselves. The more self-love we have, the less we will experience self-abuse. Self-abuse comes from self-rejection, and self-rejection comes from having an image of what it means to be perfect and never measuring up to that ideal. Self-love is necessary to a functional and successful life. My name is Dr. Dan Amzalag, and you may all keep pursuing your amazing journey in life.